Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of EA James, where I am all about games. Today, let's talk about the next installment in the monster catching franchise, Pokémon Sword and Shield, on Nintendo Switch. Let's get into it. This game is immersed in nostalgia, but also fine-tuned to be a fun and addictive experience. Today I'm going to break it down into multiple categories as we go about exploring the new world of Galar and the Pokémon that are stored within it. Let's go ahead and start with the starters. The starter Pokémon are very lively and vibrant in this game, and make a very challenging choice to choose from. You have the sad and timid Water Gecko in Sobble. You have the energetic and vibrant Scorbunny. And you have the calm, collected, and inquisitive Grookey. Between this wonderful water, fire, and grass type, it's very difficult to decide who can be your companion Pokemon, especially if you don't know what they're going to turn into. Are you going to go based on their personality, on their probable battle prowess, on their helpfulness in the gyms to come? The choice is yours and yours alone. I chose to go with Sobble because watching the growth he went through from a timid child to an angsty teenager to a fully realized operative in the form of Inteleon really made it for me. Next, let's move on to our rival, Hop. This game's interesting in that it introduces you to a childhood friend in Hop, who is your companion, who is your driving force to become a better trainer, who is your rival. Hop, I think, is the purest and best representation of a rival so far in this game, right behind Generations 1 and 2's rivals in Blue and Gold. I think that he really helps you understand your growth as a trainer, as well as the hardships you have to discover, whereas he chooses the worst type to your starter, and is constantly living in the shadow of his champion brother Leon. You feel his growth as he goes through, his exhilaration for each win, and his consolation and his loss with each and every loss that he has throughout the series. You want him to do better, just as he stirs you onward, and he's never so in your face and constantly pushing you as to get annoying. Hop is essentially the underdog. The next huge feature you see after meeting Hop is the large expanse known as the Wild Area. The Wild Area is a new environment completely unique to Sword and Shield. This area allows you to see Pokemon in their natural habitat, as well as to see them in changing weather and overall different elements. Different Pokemon will spawn throughout, both as wild encounters in the grass, as well as static moving encounters over the overfield. They are breathtaking, and it really makes it feel alive. My biggest complaint about the game is actually that you don't have them everywhere. I wish that the wild area was bigger. I wish that you could actually have it intertwined all the way throughout the entire game, instead of having stagnant routes and the wild area. I think if they tied it all together into one large expanse that you explored as you moved upward, getting stronger and more diverse and rare Pokemon the farther in you got, it would be an incredible feat. But even still, I spent hours here, and one of the biggest things I spent hours on is the max raid battles. Let's talk about it. A huge portion of what makes the wild area so invigorating and exciting to explore each and every time is the max raid battles. You'll notice almost immediately once stepping forth into the area that there are small circular rock patches that are either glowing a small, smoldering red, have a vibrant red beam coming out of them, or a crackling energy purple and violet beam. These are the Max Raid Battle Dens. These areas allow you to find rare and unique Pokemon with strong IVs or individual values and hidden abilities that you never know what's going to show up. And as you progress through the game, they get stronger and stronger, moving from single form Pokemon 1-stars to fully evolved hidden ability max IV 5-star dens. And they get gradually more and more impressive as you go, with Gigantamax Pokemon showing up, implementing the new Dynamax system where Pokemon become stronger and have special moves that become super powered and supercharged, making each and every attack feel incredible. It gives you just a burst of adrenaline every time you fire off a water-typed Max Geyser, or a fire-charged Max Flare, or a grass-type Max Overgrowth. It really makes you feel in the action of everything, and never knowing if you're going to find a rare Pokemon, or a Sword exclusive Pokemon by joining somebody else's Max Raid. The possibilities are endless. I have easily spent almost 12 hours just in the wild area, doing max raids, getting over leveled, and having a blast. Next, let's go into something that actually varies a little bit for each playthrough, and that is the gyms, which actually have some uniqueness between them, with two different types in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield exclusively. Let's talk about it. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, we have returned to the tried and true version of gym battles. And let me tell you, it is a great time. From the kicking, energetic gym theme, to the different challenges that you have to go through as the gym missions, that actually give a little bit more vibrancy instead of just running in static corridors fighting trainers. It makes each gym experience feel fresh and different. And I love the fact that it actually takes a few hours before you even get to the first gym, because you'll probably get lost in the new landscape with its vibrant music, its soothing dulcet tones, its new Pokemon, and like I said, the wild area. Now the difference is here, in each version there are two exclusive gyms that are swapped out in each town. In Snow Inside, in Pokemon Shield, you have the Ghost Gym. Whereas in Sword, you have a fighting gym. And then, over in Sirchester, you have an ice-type gym in Shield, whereas it's a ground-type gym in Sword. These little variations make each game feel fresh and different, giving a completely different perspective on what Pokemon you should take, what team setup you should have, and as you go through and each gym actually makes you feel stronger. Because in this game, you can't just catch each Pokemon willy-nilly. You are only allowed to catch Pokemon of a certain level according to your badge level. And it actually stirs you on, because you're going to get caught and lost in that wild area, and you're going to go to large Pokemon wanting to catch them, but they're too strong for you. Even if you have the levels for it, you still will need to progress to actually make yourself stronger, catch better Pokemon, and feel like a Pokemon master. I really think this is the best feeling of growth as a trainer we have had, and some of these areas are gorgeous. Everyone is touting Balloonlay and all of the different mushroom scenery it has with it for the fairy aesthetic. It is breathtaking. I would highly recommend checking it out. Next, we're going to talk about my final thoughts and just how I feel near the end of the game. Let's go. Finally, to keep this spoil-free, I'm not going to talk about what happens in endgame, because even though the games have been out nearly a month, I don't want to spoil that event for you. But let's just say that the legendaries are incredible, and I love the way that they've handled them. I also love the exclusive areas you get to in post-game. between the vibrant, spiraling city of Winden to the sleepy and mysterious avenue of the Slumbering Weald. I think that this game has so many highs, from the addictive nature of the wild area, not knowing what max raid you're going to get, what weather you're going to get, what rare spawns you're going to find. I think that it's handled so beautifully and so cohesively. And although, yes, it sucks that there is only 400 Pokemon, I think that having that limited amount gives you the necessity to try new team competitions, to branch out to new areas, to new ideas that you wouldn't normally try. I personally figured I was going to use all Gen 8 Pokemon in my team. I didn't end up doing that. I actually had several that became permanent members who were from past generations. And that's okay because a lot of them are Pokemon I never use. And they ended up giving me so much use and so much versatility in ways I never expected. Let's talk about some of the good things. In this game, I love the wild area. I cannot stress that enough. I love the wild area. I keep coming back to it every single day for multiple hours, looking for a new rare Gigantamax spawn, a new shiny spawn, a new weather spawn, anything that'll get me back in there to cook and camp and have a great time with everyone. It just feels so cohesive and lets you feel like you're part of a larger Pokemon world with other players. The music is fantastic and fits the setting of everything. I love hearing each new track as I get to each new city, to hear each specific trainer track, to Bede's theme, and Hop's theme, and Leon's theme. I love that they actually have unique experiences instead of just these same dulcet tones that you hear over and over and over again. That while catchy, don't always stick in your mind the same way and make that lasting impression. Some of my dislikes, however, are the fact that there are several moments in the game where you have unskippable cutscenes, with static text that plays that you cannot fast forward through, and the character's lips flap, but no sound comes out. And although we don't necessarily need voice acting, it would be so much more impactful if they at least made some kind of sounds, some kind of affirmation that something was going on. There are two specific instances I think of where the character model is doing something and sound is coming off of that model, but all of the other intricacies that could make the scene better, such as them talking or singing, are missing. And that just completely takes away the feel of the scene and the overall experience. But all of the new Pokemon, all of the new areas, the wild area, the max raids, the Dynamax, the Gigantamaxing, it all comes together to a wonderful new experience that I highly recommend you give a try. Pokemon Sword and Shield for me are easily a 9 out of 10. If they had those small fixes I talked about from the voice acting and a little bit better cohesion with the story, I think it really would be a 10 out of 10 experience. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. It really appreciates me and lets me know exactly what you think of the content I do. I try to put a lot of work into these, and please subscribe for more content in the future because I love making it for you. Otherwise, please have a fantastic evening and take care.